one of my students improved from an initial score of 205 on the GMAT to 585 on the GMAT in about 4 months. You may find that fantastic, but I have not told you another part of the story. That story is that this person went down from an initial score of 355 on actual GMAT to 205 on a GMAT mock in about 6 months he studied with me. So let me tell you the whole story. So this person came to me. He had already scored a 355 on the GMAT. He had already prepared for 6 months, taken some course and all that. So he came to me with 355. We worked together. He started by taking 40 minutes on average per CR question. So 40 minutes on a single CR question tells you two things: that the person's skill levels are really low, that this person needs really that much time to really do justice to a single CR question. But 40 minutes per CR question also tells you that this person was extremely sincere in applying whatever I was teaching him. So he started with 40 minutes. It came down to 10 minutes in 6 months. But then he thought, oh, I've already spent 6 months with CJ, let me take a mock. I did not advise him that. Nor did he ask me. He just took a mock, got us 205, cried for a couple of days. And then he started preparing again. And then by the end of another 4 months, overall 10 months, he had a 585 on the actual GMAT. There is another part of the story. He continued to prepare and all that. But I want to focus on this part right now. So you may look at this part that, okay, the improvement came from 205 to 585 in just 4 months. And you may think, oh, 318-point improvement in 4 months is possible. Well, that's not really the case. Actually, he improved from 355 to 585 in 10 months, right? The initial 6 months in which actually he went down from 355 to 205, he was building his foundations. Those 6 months are not really visible because you're just looking at the test scores. But those 6 months are necessary for the next 4 months to yield the result that they yielded, right? So it was necessary for him to really move from 355 to 205 for him to be able to get to 585 on the actual GMAT. So a couple of things I want to say here. One is that whenever you look at success stories that happen very fast, there could be another part of the stories which are not yet visible to you, but which were necessary for those improvements to happen that fast. The second is, if you keep looking at your mock scores in terms of measuring your improvement, you may not be really getting a good picture. For example, if a company invests in R&D, and if the company starts measuring the result of that research and development by looking at the profits are not going to come in the next 6 months. It may take 2 to 3 years or probably 5 years for the research and development to yield results in terms of profits. But do you say that, oh, the profits are not improving in the first 6 months, so you say that R&D is not successful? That's not the right way to measure. So when you're working on your fundamental, foundational skills, measuring whether you are improving just by looking at the mock scores is not really a sensible way to measure. So keep these things in mind as you prepare for your GMAT. Thank you.